You've been lied to. They told you if you just repeat the words, I am rich, I am successful, I am loved, money would flow to you. Your dream partner would appear. Your entire life would change. But let's be honest, has that actually happened? Because for most people and me, affirmations don't actually work, and I had to learn this the hard way. I was broke, living at my dad's house, writing down affirmations in my journal every single morning. I was repeating to myself, I'm a millionaire, while checking my bank account with a negative bank balance. I was telling myself I'm in the best shape of my life, but I barely had the energy to get out of bed. And you know what? Instead of feeling motivated from those affirmations, I actually felt like a fraud. Because deep down, my body knew I was lying to myself. But then I discovered a new method, one that actually works, and what I'm gonna cover in today's video. But let me tell you, the moment I switched to this new method, my entire life changed. I went from broke to building a multi-six-figure business. I went from heartbroken and single to being engaged to my fiance, the love of my life. I went from stuck in my comfort zone to moving to sunny Florida and building my dream life. But here's the wild part. It's not just that affirmations don't work. They might actually be working against you. And I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. Because if you've ever felt like no matter how many times you repeat an affirmation, but nothing changes, it's not because you're doing it wrong. It's because the way affirmations were taught actually were set up for you to fail. And let me show you exactly what. Reason number one, your brain thinks you are lying. If you've ever said an affirmation and instead of feeling empowered, you actually felt very, very weird, almost uncomfortable, that is because your brain knows when you are lying to yourself. It's basically like walking into a room filled with people and announcing, I am a billionaire. Everyone, including you, knows it is not true. Your subconscious immediately rejects it. Therefore, instead of it making you feel successful, it actually creates doubt, fear, anxiety, and frustration. So if you ever said to yourself, I am wealthy, while staring at your empty and overdrafted bank account, or maybe you say to yourself, I am confident, while feeling that voice in your head saying, no, you're not, your brain doesn't accept it. It actually pushes it back. And that resistance, that's the reason affirmations don't actually stick. Reason number two, your emotions don't match your words. Because hear me out, if affirmations actually work, then simply saying I am happy would instantly make you happy, right? But that is not how the brain works. Words are meaningless without emotion. Like imagine you're at a party and someone walks up to you with a fake smile saying, I love your outfit. Do you believe them? Absolutely not. Because the energy doesn't match the words. Same thing when it comes to affirmations. If you say, I am successful, but you don't feel successful, your brain will not buy into it. And once again, without emotion, your words are just noise. Now, my last reason, before I get into my brand new method, reason number three, they're too generic to create real change. I am rich, I am love. It sounds good, right? But what does that actually mean? What does rich look like in your life? What does it feel to be truly confident, abundant, loved, cherished? If your brain doesn't have a clear, detailed picture in its mind, it honestly has nothing to hold on to. And if it can't see it, it won't believe it. That is why so many people repeat affirmations for months, even years, with zero results. So this is how I discovered my brand new method. And to be honest, I wasn't even trying to find a new method. I figured this out kind of by accident, but let me tell you, it works, and it works really, really well. One day I was meditating, just trying to quiet my mind, and the type of meditation I love to do is called visualization meditation. And it's basically where you don't just say what you want, you see it, you feel it, you experience it in your mind as if it is already real. And at that moment, it hit me. Words alone are not enough. Instead of just repeating affirmations, affirmations, I needed to describe them in vivid detail, like they were happening right now. And not only that, I needed to repeat them while moving my body. I had to live my affirmation before it actually happened. So 2 parts to this new method. Describe the affirmation in vivid detail and then pair it with movement. So let me break down this method step by step so you know how to do it correctly. So step number 1, describe your future reality in detail. Do not forget the detail. So forget saying I am successful. That is just way too vague. Instead, describe it like it's happening right now. So don't just say I am wealthy. Say I wake up in my dream apartment, floor to ceiling windows, golden sunlight coming in every single morning. I grab my phone and see $10,000 worth of new payment notifications from people who bought my digital products overnight. I smile, I stretch, I make my favorite breakfast knowing I have nowhere to go or no boss to rush to. Everything is on my terms. Or instead of saying I'm healthy and I am fit, say I wake up feeling strong, energized, powerful. I put on my favorite workout set. It fits perfectly on my body. I look in the mirror. I love what I see. I go outside and I go for a run. My body feels energized. Every step I take makes me feel so light and comfortable in my body. Do you see the difference? You don't just see the difference, you can actually feel the difference. The more vivid the description, the more real it actually feels in your body. And the crazy part is your brain does not know the difference between something that's real and vividly imagined. So the more that you actually describe your future in detail, your brain actually believes it's happening right now. And since your brain believes it's actually happening right now, you start to make decisions like it's actually already yours. Now, the second part of this method is add movement to your affirmation description. Now, I didn't expect this to make such a huge difference in my affirmation practice, but to be honest, it changed everything. I tried saying my affirmation description, like sitting down still, like how I always do affirmations, but it just felt forced. It felt like I was just going through the motions. Once again, no emotion, no excitement. But the minute I stood up and I started walking and describing my future reality, something shifted. I felt an energetic change. The words didn't just sound like thoughts in my head. They actually felt real, like my body was already living it. And you know what? There's actually a reason for that. Because movement makes affirmations stick. The words didn't just sound like thoughts in my head. They felt real, like really, really real. Like my body was already living it. And there's honestly been dozens of studies that show pairing movement with words deepens the belief and rewires the brain a lot faster. And that is why athletes visualize success while training. That's why you remember a song better when you dance to them. And that is why when you move your body or do any form of movement while affirming, it stops being a thought and starts feeling like a real memory. So here's my challenge to you. I saw a huge shift in my life just by doing this method for 7 days. And I wasn't just saying my affirmations, I was actually living them. So for the next 7 days, I want you to do this every single day, even if it's just for 5 minutes, and watch what happens. Because by day 7, you're not just gonna be saying and describing your affirmations, you're gonna be living them. You're gonna start to see the opportunities, the people, everything show up in your reality to actually make that happen for you. And let me tell you, like, this method actually changed my entire life. And if you commit to doing this, even just for 1 week, I promise you, you're gonna be a completely different person. So try this out for 1 week. DM me on Instagram. Tell me what changed in your life, because I want to hear your wins. I want to hear your breakthroughs and your shifts. I love you so, so much. And until next time, make sure that you stay unforgettable.